I'm Kara Warner with People Magazine. Very excited to be here with the director and cast from Smurfs The Lost Village. We're going to start a special live chat here, and I just want to introduce everyone before we start. Director Kelly Asbury, Joe Manganiello, who's the voice of Hefty Smurf, Demi Lovato, the voice of Smurfette, Ariel Winter, the voice of Smurf Lily, and Jack McBrayer, the voice of Clumsy Smurf. So let's kick things off. I know we've got people ready to ask questions.
Yes. Hi, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. And the movie is absolutely wonderful. Joe, I actually had a question for you. I know that you were recently appointed on the board of Children's Hospital in Pittsburgh. So will you be taking the movie and showing the kids the movie, and will you be explaining to them that you're Hefty?
I'm a step ahead of you.
Oh, I love it. I want to hear all about it.
Sony was kind enough to send Hefty Smurf with me to Children's Hospital, and we got to screen the movie for the kids who couldn't go out to the theater. And it was amazing seeing, kids pushing their IV stands who have been in the hospital for months, running up and hugging Hefty Smurf and crying. And it was amazing. And we also got to do a fundraiser for a little local theater in conjunction with the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation. We invited Make-A-Wish kids and the Boys and Girls Clubs, and so we had a whole big full theater full of kids.
That's awesome.
Who came and watched the movie, and I got to watch it with them and hear them cheer and clap and yell at Gargamel, and it was so much fun. So yeah, so thank you to Sony for doing that.
Did they realize you were the voice?
They did. I think their parents had to tell them. But, we're on the right path.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome.
Hi everyone, good morning. I'm Carla Renata from the Curvy Film Critic. I wanted to know what quality of each of your Smurfs characters, and you too, Mr. Director, what quality of a Smurf helped you to meld with your character?
I play Clumsy Smurf, and I don't know if I'm really clumsy, but Clumsy's got a big heart, and he tries real hard, so I think I just kind of leaned into that a little bit.
Okay.
I think probably how courageous and caring my character is. I think that kind of helped me get into character for Smurf Lily.
My character she's very independent, and I'd like to think I'm an independent woman myself.
My character has a heart literally on his sleeve, and that means two things to me. It means that he's a big, strong, physical, protective character, but he's also very romantic and strong enough to be vulnerable, sometimes in inopportune moments in front of the Smurf that he loves.
Well, I am the director of the movie, but I also happen to be the voice of Nosy Smurf in the movie, and I had a neighbor growing up that I just based it on. They would come over to our house and knock on the door and bring us our mail, and then they'd look past you and go, "What's going on in there?" That was it. So, Nosy.
Thank you. That's hilarious.
Thank you all for being here. So I know in this film several new Smurfs are introduced, and I wanted to see if you could talk about what inspired that and why you decided to introduce this whole new set of Smurfs.
Well, the movie, the kickoff point, our writer Pamela Ribben sort of came to us, and we knew we wanted an adventure story, and we knew we wanted a journey. We wanted something fun and sincere and not cynical. And she said, well, Smurfette is this only girl in this village, and how does she feel about that? How do the other Smurfs feel? And what if there was another girl out there? What if there was another female? How would they react, and how would those females react to them? And that sort of was the impetus of where we started the story and how it emerged. And I think it's really about not just female empowerment, it's about empowerment for everybody. I think the story really is be yourself, do what you feel is in your heart, and that's really where it all kind of started. So.
Hi guys. So the Smurfs is being introduced to a whole new generation. So I'd just love to know, what message do you want kids to be left with?
Well, I think it's probably individual. You could probably ask each one of us that question. We'd have a different answer.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Mine, I think I was raised to be chivalrous, and I was raised to protect people I care about, especially women. Like to hold the door open, you put your arm out, you do these things. When the ketchup bottle needs to be open, that's my job. and those are things that I hope never change. And I think that Hefty is a good character to be a role model for the next generation of young boys, because it's all of the values that I would want to teach my kid, my nephew. That as much as we are equal, and that as paramount of importance as that is, that you're a boy, and part of your job is protecting the girls that you love, and I love that the character does that.
Hefty says we do the right thing, and that's what he does.
Hey Jack, Lisa in the back row. Hi everyone. I was really amused last night watching the screening at how physical your character's comedy is, and so I'm wondering, for all of you, the process of being involved in an animated film and how your process differs from traditional roles that you've held in the past.
Well, yes, ma'am. Doing the voice acting is definitely a different muscle to flex, but you do have to be physical even in the animation. So, for example, if we're running through the forest or we're jumping, or in Clumsy's case, falling over anything, there's a lot of, oofs, offs, screamings and stuff. So I would, like in the booth, like be sprinting, and yeah, I'm not very vocally talented, so I just like act to compensate for it.
You're modest.
Hi guys, thanks for being here. My name's Sarah from Beauty Mommy. I had a quick question, and I'm curious how you guys feel about being a part of this new generation of Smurfs coming out.
I know that I'm really excited. Smurfs isn't something that I necessarily grew up watching, and so being able to come into this experience fresh and open-eyed, it's really exciting for me, and I feel like all ages are really going to love this film, because you've got the generation that has watched Smurfs growing up, and then you've got kids that are learning about the Smurfs and get to enjoy this adventure with all of us as well.
All right, hi, I'm Vienna. So my question is this is such a nostalgic movie for me because I grew up with Smurfs. Do all of you feel like that, and is that what initially drew you to doing this animation?
Well, I'm older than some of the cast members. It's just weird for me to say now, but I guess it's true. So I grew up, I was part of the generation that grew up with the Smurfs. So I watched them every Saturday, and I had Smurf sticker books and coloring books and everything. And I think everybody in my generation did. So for me, it's such an honor to get a call. Do you want to play this iconic character that you grew up watching? For the next generation, of course. And then aside from that, I have a 2.5-year-old niece and a 2-year-old nephew who I sent, I came home from the New York press tour and brought my niece a little Smurfette doll, a little Smurf she could take in the bathtub. And my brother sends me videos and pictures of her in the bathtub kissing the Smurf and hugging the Smurf. And so she loves the Smurf. She says Smurf. She'll walk around the house and talk about the Smurfs. And she's so excited to come to the premiere tomorrow. So that's kind of been, that's been the carrot, like, you better be good, or you're not going to the Smurfs on Saturday. So she's, really straightened up her act in the last couple of weeks. So I'm really excited to then talk to her about, about Smurfs. And what do you like about the Smurfs? What's your favorite part? I'm excited.
Can you tease a couple of the nostalgic nods, little Easter eggs? Because I feel like there's some great moments.
I have a good one.
Go for it.
Go for it.
Well, I was always talking to Kelly. I'm like, so, do you remember that myth, or was it a song or something about Smurfs are 3 apples high?
Uh-huh.
And so they snuck an Easter egg in where Papa Smurf pulls a sheet back and it's 3 apples hidden under the sheet. That's a little Easter egg.
Clumsy left those as a disguise. Good work.
And he said that's not even real.
Right.
That's 3 apples high. It's like,
Yeah, there are a few. There's a Scarecrow King Smurf. If you look at the shot of Farmer in the background, and that's from a classic Smurfs comic book. There's a few things throughout the movie. If you're a Smurf fan, you'll certainly see them and go, oh yeah, okay, got it.
Hi, I'm Melissa with Dandelion Moms, and this is for you, Demi. My daughter's a huge fan. She's so excited.
Thank you.
What was your favorite thing about playing Smurfette? What did you like best about playing her?
My favorite thing about playing Smurfette is the female empowerment aspect of this role. And I think it's very convenient with the timing of where we're at in the world today. So that was very exciting for me. And being able to play a courageous, brave young female who sets out on this adventure to find out more about herself is, I think, encouraging and something that's inspirational for younger women who are, you know, wondering who they are themselves. I think it's inspirational for them to look at and say, wow, if she can do it, I can do it.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask Ariel too, if I know we can't go too far with your character because she's new and very new. Can you talk a little bit about her and what people should be excited to kind of learn and see with her?
Well, she's definitely a very fierce, strong woman character, and I really appreciate that. And I agree with everything that Demi was saying, that it's really exciting in the world today that we now have a generation of female Smurfs that are very strong and brave and kind of all work together to do whatever they want to do. And my character is, she's, sorry, I get a little nervous. No, she's really strong and she's really brave, and she's kind of the first one that Smurfette sees and kind of sets off that Smurfette wants to go on this adventure to find the lost village. And then they find all these wonderful, you know, smart, courageous women.
Who's next? Anyone else? I can go now.
You can double down.
Well, I was going to say, when Jack was talking about kind of acting in the voice booth, I'm always fascinated about it because it's a different kind of acting, even though you guys are clearly all professionals. I'm wondering, was there any kind of fun thing you got to do that was either very different from what you've done in live action, or maybe like a little embarrassing that you had to get over? Was there anything like that was new for you, just making those sound effects maybe?
I think it's always awkward when you have to make grunting noises into the microphone. So that's always a little uncomfortable for me.
We always promise, I literally will say, okay, no one's watching you,
Yeah.
we'll look away. So we just need you to grunt. And you know, but it's unfortunately something we have to have.
Yeah.
I had to do this really like deep, low, guttural voice, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, all right, Ariel, everyone's here. You got to do it right. You got to like make it happen because everyone's watching you. So I was like trying. It was kind of like a different experience for me because usually when I'm doing animation, I'm making like higher, younger voices. So it was interesting for me to kind of like do that opposite, like bring it really low.
In a couple of these sessions, for the most part, it's just you and a microphone and then this dummy. But there were a couple of sessions where I got to work with Danny Pudi, who plays Brainy Smurf, and I found that kind of interesting to be able to, even though it's voice acting, you're playing off another character, a buddy, and it made it fun. It made it quite fun.
And that's pretty rare.
It is.
To be able to have both actors at the same time because they're always traveling everywhere. If you all would stay in one place,
That's right.
easier.
That's right.
I think when you have to grunt along to a lot of the scenes that I had to grunt along to in True Blood, like use your imagination. Everything past that, there's nothing embarrassing you can possibly do after that. This was a pleasure.
Was there anything left on the cutting room floor? I know again it's animated, so it's not like you can. There are bloopers. Is there anything that might appear?
Well, in the process of developing these stories, we storyboard all sorts of ideas, and actually quite a lot goes by the wayside. It's about crafting the movie, and by the time we're recording the voices, we're pretty sure what we want. Although we do go back and get rewrites, and things change all the time until we can't change them anymore. So there's a lot that does sort of get tested, and we end up hopefully with what is the best result.
Right, and special features on a Blu-ray DVD.
Exactly.
I've got a question for Demi, actually. Smurfette, as we know, Gargamel made Smurfette, and then Papa Smurf, made her into a nice girl. So in the village, in the Smurfs village, you're a nice girl, but then you meet the other cast, the other girls. How do you see Smurfette evolving?
How do I see her evolving? I see her evolving because she sets out on this journey to find out who she is. And as she goes on this journey, she really comes into her own. And I think you see her go from, not that she's necessarily a teenage Smurfette, but because I don't know how we age the Smurfs in this in this whole world, but you see her go from a young woman to a woman, and I think that that's a really cool thing to watch when it comes to my character.
Kelly, I have a question. So you directed the film and you played Nosy Smurf. How difficult was that to maneuver those two tasks?
Well, we do a thing called scratch dialogue, where basically whoever will come and just do the temporary voice because we need it, and sometimes that temporary voice just sticks. I really only recorded a couple of lines, and we said, I'll just use that. And so it was very easy. I just went, you know what? I'll do it. So that wasn't very hard at all. I'm able to channel Nosy when I have to.
Is this your acting debut?
I've done a few other voices in Shrek 2 and Romeo and Juliet, yeah. So I have a SAG card, you know.
They picked you up. That's a good thing.
You were hefty in most of the
Yes.
at least the
temporary. I was temporary hefty.
Yeah.
He's permanent hefty.
I'm sorry to say that our time is coming to an end. If we can do one more question.
Okay, cool. Wow, a little bit of pressure. My question is how do you prep to do voiceovers? Because a lot of times with scripts, you get into character, you memorize the lines, and you practice back and forth with the partner. But how do you do that in an animation?
It's pretty easy, or it was on my part, because the lines are in front of you, so you don't necessarily have to memorize them. And sometimes they change right away, so they're like literally right in front of you. I didn't do much changing of my voice, so it was my regular talking voice, maybe a little higher in certain parts, a little more cheerful. Because now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, my voice is kind of low right now. But anyways, I didn't do much preparing other than putting on my workout pants and showing up with no makeup on.
I would have to agree. I mean, I think I started out making the voice a little bit higher than we wanted it to be. Like, I started out, and then we kind of like found that it was more my voice, and I think that was the only preparation really that I did, was kind of just like figuring out how she sounds.
I'll just drink Mountain Dew.
It's true.
That's hilarious.
You should be an ad for Mountain Dew.
I think they made you as their spokesperson.
I think for me it was probably playing around with, because it's not really my voice. It's a character voice that's sort of juxtaposed between this bro Smurf who's like, come on guys, let's go, let's get up and run around and do things and one finger push-ups, and that's the polar opposite of, man, look at Smurfette. Like, there's this romantic voice. So I think that it was, when you kind of anchor it to the romantic voice, you know what that's going to be, this dreamy romantic Smurf. Then you take it out as far as you can the other side with the bro Smurf, Smurf bro. And then there you go.
Were you thinking in someone when you were doing your Smurf bro? The melody voice of the romantic voice?
Was I thinking about
someone?
Oh. You
Choose
mean
wisely.
my
I know her.
my pitufina?
Tell us the name.
Always. Pitufo fortucho.
And then there's that.
What a way to close it out. Thank you all for being here. Thank you everyone on People's Facebook for tuning in. We so appreciate it. And go see Smurfs April 4th. Yeah?
April 7th.
Smurfs
The Lost Village.
April 7th. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much.